Now you're gonna have to explain to all the folks in the video why you're wearing fucking sunglasses on a snowing ass January day in Ohio.
Yeah, but you see, they can't see me.
Yeah, but they did when you first started, dumbass.
No, they didn't. I ain't showing myself yet. We're going to eventually.
Right. Hey, how's it going, guys? It's Forza Dudes, at least one of the hosts. Sorry for the disappointment. Hey, Rick, the projects today we wanted to show you was we have both the Gambler 500 cars for the 2020 year Gambler event up in Detroit. So we're really excited about this one. My brother and I, he was gracious enough to let me use his Sport Track last year. We ran more of a support. We didn't really beat the tar out of it. I mean, I did on accident a few occasions, other than me getting stuck, but let's not talk about that. I'm sure there's the videos explain that one.
If he ever gets to him, I mean, it's only January, and that only happened in May. He's only got one out of, what, three or four parts?
My hope is by the time that we get this video out, that the other two are already out, and I don't have to explain this shit in great detail. So what we have here is we have the support vehicle. We're going to be running the Ford Explorer Sport Track again. It was running last year's Gambler, as you can see here.
It's got a new addition. It's called the Ford doing the Chevy thing.
Yeah,
gotta hold the bed up with straps, because the bottom's all rotted out.
Yep. So this thing, we're not going to do overly too much with it. We're looking at doing a basket, putting it up here. We're going to find a way to mount it, and it's going to hold a front light bar.
It's getting rid of the light.
Yeah, I'm not going to run my little strobe, but I'm just going to run a front light bar. Maybe if I have my way, we'll have a couple look downs, which will be nice during nights, especially if I get in a hard spot. So this thing, I mean, really, we're going to do minimal work with it. We're going to, do the little basket. We're going to do the light bar. I mean, this is pretty much stuff I already have laying around the house, so we don't have to worry about spending much money on this thing, other than tires, and we might put a 2-inch lift or something on it.
Yeah, we at least need to do the upper on the driver's side before we do this, but
yeah,
we've already got that.
But this is stuff that we already knew last Gambler needed fixed, and we've learned
our lesson on replacing front shocks.
We hold true to the values of ABG, right? Always be gambling. We've been gambling over a full year on that left front fucking wishbone on the top, not breaking.
So far it hasn't. But
that's the Gambler life. So I mean, it's nothing going to be anything really, really fancy.
We got the nice, very rare bullshit tan interior in this thing. Try finding stuff for that.
We have the light bar. Stole it off my Dodge. It's a dual beam. This one is anyway.
52-inch.
Yeah, 52-inch straight. I lost my bolts, my fancy Allen head bolts, so I had to improvise. Find some bolts laying around the house.
And that one that he didn't explain is that one's got the white and the amber. Yeah, the random wigs sitting there. Some of the stuff you could find in these trucks, man, I'm telling you.
Dude, we were totally going to put it on the hood and be like Gambler style with this motherfucker, but we came to the realization that when we put the light bar down on the hood, there was a gap about this much on each side. And I had little spacers, and we put the little spacers on, but it still didn't clear the hood, and it was really starting to block our vision. So we said, fuck that.
So up in the basket it goes. Oops, I stuck my fingers in it. No! Whatever. It's not ruined video.
Right? This right here is a 1995 Saturn SL2. You're going to do the Gambler 500. You're doing 500 miles in a $500 shit box. And I can't think of anything more depreciated in value than one of these. Seriously, I can't. It's a fucking Saturn.
My poor little car.
Jarrett's first car. We're not going to talk about how much we paid for it, because at this point we're chalking it up to free and just putting all the expenses on the stupid shit we're going to do with it. So
5 engines later.
Can we not talk about that? So this car is literally, when I say $500 shit boxes, this thing may have been more than $500 when he bought it, but
I can tell you this
most
much:
definitely-
if I wanted to sell this thing, I'd have to sell this to a guy and hand him $500 with the car after I handed it to him for free.
he's not wrong. He's not fucking wrong.
Do you
But
want me to explain it? I mean, that's up to you.
About your $500 shit box?
Yeah.
Yeah, sure, go ahead. So, this particular car, I think I got, 10, 11 years ago? Something like that. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know. It's snowing. There's not a damn fucking ray of sunshine anywhere, and my dumb ass is wearing these fucking things. Hell with it. I got this thing about 10, 11 years ago. I know he said not to mention it, but this thing's technically gone through like 3 blocks and a head. It's technically gone through like 5 engines when you get done with the rebuilds that we've done on them. I'm not sure how many miles this one is. My brother found the unicorn engine of all unicorn engines. This thing has been, I think it's sat almost as long as it's been on the road for me. And for whatever reason, I just could never get rid of this car. One of the big, I mean, we're facing 3 big problems with this. The big problems are lighting, suspension travel, and, well, the number one thing is it's a Saturn. I mean, you can't get any more garbage than that. But for the people who own them, they tend to have like a cult following for these things. It's not anywhere near as expansive as the Volkswagen Rabbit community, but he's a fucking cultist. Sure, we can call that a cult thing. This thing's been through fucking hell. I mean, I'm not gonna lie to you. There's cracks everywhere. The sunroof is broke. It leaks like a motherfucker. This thing's got like about a quarter of an inch of water on the floorboard right now. Go figure.
Look at this pristine interior.
I know. The headliner's been like that since the day I got it. It was probably because the sunroof initially clogged and started leaking real bad.
We fixed it 3 times already.
This is the main reason why we are actually getting ready to send this. The unibody is finally starting to go. The tires in the back are flat, but that's for another reason entirely. That's called aluminum rims. I don't know if you guys know of aluminum rims, but I certainly know of aluminum rims and the pain that comes with it. This one has the DOHC. This one's got the 1.9 liter DOHC, the spoiler. This was actually, believe it or not, they had tiers of trim packages. This is one of the higher end models in a very unfortunately unique color known as lilac. If you can point out the lilac, by all means. So the plans with this car initially was to make it into a rally car until we found that, because the other side's not full of holes yet, but it's getting just as bad. And when we found that out, we're like, well, what better rally to put it in than a gambler rally? For a car that's maybe worth like $300 sitting, and I mean that's including the engine.
I mean, it's 25 years old and there's over 200,000 miles on the chassis.
210,000 miles on the chassis. In fact, I've got a picture of that on my phone when it hit 210,000. 5-speed manual, front-wheel drive. Just a typical shitbox everyday Saturn that I drove every day when it wasn't sitting in the yard with a blowed engine. I've gone through more engines on that thing trying to figure out when the transmission's gonna go. We'll find out really freaking soon. But the plan with this is obviously just to take a couple of the pieces of this thing off, tear it apart a little bit, put a couple of things on it. We're gonna end up putting a light bar in the very front of this, like he had mentioned, I believe.
No, I don't think I had mentioned that because you took over.
Yeah, we're gonna end up just putting it right here, smack dab in the front of the hood. Hell with it. We're gonna be taking the bumpers off. I don't know what we're gonna be doing about the rocker panels yet. We're gonna have to remove those.
They may go back on.
Yeah, they may go back on.
I'm not sure if I'm really going to lift it. I don't know if I'm really going to bother with it because, believe it or not, this thing's, for stock ride height, really isn't that bad to begin with. 5.7 inches, I think, is the stock ground clearance on it. It's going to get a custom welded front bumper and skid plate.
Maybe not the bumper, but at least the skid plate.
At least the skid plate will go on it. Maybe tie down the radiator a little better because, you know, I kind of yeeted this once before, and there's actually a video with it. Oh, well, yeah, there's that. Like I said, this thing's been through hell. The fact that it's even in here is amazing, and it's still it's running. By God,
fill the tires up and drive it away. I mean, it's kind of sketchy doing that, considering the frame's almost in two pieces, but
it'd be fine. Not really thinking of doing any engine modifications. We're going to space the tires in the back out a little bit to give it a better stance, because for whatever reason, there's like an inch and a half difference between the front and the back. I don't know.
I don't know. Like every Saturn I've ever seen in existence does that.
She's got a bit of a camber issue. She's got a bit of a toe issue. That's all going to get fixed. And then we're going to yeet this thing in through mud, dirt, going uphill, downhill, and see how much shit we actually freaking break on it. It is like every typical Saturn. It is an oil burner.
Oh, God.
It sounds like a really fucking weird Toyota. And that's all it's got, because rev limiters suck. Had a stereo system in it. I mean, this thing got me through college. It's still, drivable. I mean, I can't necessarily say it's roadworthy, but it's drivable.
Oh, it smells like my old rotary, man.
No, god damn, man. That's
my old
bad.
fucking RX-7 smelled like that.
Yeah, but, well, here we go. Well, the only other thing that we might be doing is trying to put a 4-point harness system in it, which I don't see us actually doing, but, you know. Safety measures are not exactly safe when you're talking about a $500 shit box that has to go 500 miles.
Yeah. Here, I'm gonna hand this back to you because my fucking fingers are freezing, man.
Yeah, I know.
My fingers are fucking freezing.
It wasn't this cold 2 days ago. 2 days ago, it was 60 degrees. And now
anything you want to add?
It's I mean, aside from this brilliantness right here, if this doesn't tell you what shitbox is, I don't know what does. I mean, the second he did that, the door panel gapped. So
Yes,
that's
it
gonna
did.
be
Oh, that's
gonna be
awesome.
getting taken out.
That is awesome. Yeah, definitely taking some interior pieces out. But I mean, this mirror's not broke yet. Should I break it?
Yeah, no, let's not, because that's the only one that can actually adjust.
Oh. Maybe
Yeah.
we should get some of those like big round chrome fucking spot mirrors that they sell
Oh
for
my
semis.
God, no.
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, let's not do that.
Yep. Well, here it is in all its really shitty glory.
Yep, so this is the Gambler car. We're really excited about it. We're going to be running this thing in the Gambler again. This year, I'm hoping to beat the tar out of it a little bit more.
Since now we know the diff seal's not going to just randomly
Yeah.
pop apart.
Last time I literally did the pinion seal and a rear shackle on this thing the night before we left for the Gambler.
We were supposed to do front shocks. We decided against
We
it.
ran out of time.
Decided against it, and then he really wished he had those front freaking shocks when he got up there.
We got back from the Gambler event, right? And we hit some moguls. I'm not gonna lie, we hit some whoops, and the front end did not like that at all. We hated it more than the truck did, and like I put the new shocks on it like a week after the event, and kicked myself in the teeth because I drove over a railroad track at 60 miles an hour and barely noticed the fucking thing. Like any other, and I guarantee you we got air, because, you know.
And the sad part of this is that we were sitting there looking at it when we put the new front shocks on, and if we had longer shocks,
We could have raised the
we could have raised the truck up like 1.5 inches.
Oh, yeah. Oh yeah, yeah. The stock shocks apparently are underwhelming. Either that or our torsion keys are that wore out, and they probably are. So, like I said, always be gambling. But on that note, here you go, guys. This is what we got. We will see you
boy.
on the next update, which will be building this car and
Just doing a
I
couple
don't even know
things.
what the fuck we're gonna do with this, but we're just
Well, but hopefully by the next time you guys see this, it'll have new tires on it. Cause yeah, it's got the great Firestone of Exploder.
I mean, it is an exploder, and that's what they came with. So. All right, guys. Adios. Have a good one.